Calaroga Shark Media.
Hello and welcome to Palace Intrigue. I am your host, Mark Francis. The idea of Meghan Markle entering politics has always floated around, especially given her activism and moments of public advocacy. With Donald Trump returning to the White House, it's stirred up fresh speculation about her political ambitions. Grant Harrold, who once served as a royal butler, gave a cautious take. He doesn't find it impossible, but does consider it a long shot. Royals, historically, haven't gotten involved in politics, so it would be interesting to see how this would work. Royals do not touch on political matters, such as things governments work on, including climate change. However, getting involved in politics is a very fine line. If Harry did this, it would be tricky. He's seventh in line to the throne. He'd probably be asked not to do that, and the royals are, of course, encouraged not to vote. Her political leanings aren't new. Back in 2021, she made waves by directly calling US senators to support paid parental leave, dialing in as Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex. And during the 2020 election, she joined forces with Gloria Steinem, encouraging Americans to make their voices heard at the polls. However, this time around, the Sussexes have kept a low profile aside from their foundation, Archewell, backing National Voter Registration Day. As for Harry, who's never been able to vote either in the UK or the US, he seems supportive of Meghan's interests, though he's been careful to avoid direct political endorsements. Whether Meghan's political future will be more than speculation is still up in the air, but the idea continues to fascinate both her fans and critics. Royal expert Phil Dampier reminds us that Donald Trump is fond of King Charles. Dampier believes a royal trip to the States could be possible following the success of the Australia trip. He told The Sun, "I would have thought a trip to the States would be a great thing as well. Whoever gets in, Trump seems to be very fond of the king. Obviously, he'd like to have him. That would be enormous if the king and queen went to America." Melania Trump recently shared a surprising tidbit about her connection with then Prince Charles, revealing that the two struck up a pen-pal relationship after bonding at a 2019 state banquet. Sitting next to Charles, Melania described their conversation as an absolute pleasure, reconnecting over shared interests and previous encounters from years ago in New York. Their chat reportedly covered Charles' passion for environmental conservation, a topic close to his heart for decades. The former First Lady described it as an interesting conversation, hinting at a mutual respect for his long-standing eco-efforts. While not the most expected friendship in the royal socialite circles, it seems that the future king and the former First Lady found common ground over conservation and past connections, leading to an ongoing exchange of letters. It's at this point in the podcast we're supposed to recap wild speculation that Trump will have Harry kicked out of the US, with Harry and Meghan fleeing to Portugal. We'll let you know when that's a real thing. Prince William shared an encouraging update on Kate's health as she continues her recovery from a cancer diagnosis she revealed in March. In an interview from Cape Town where he's attending the Earthshot Prize, William described Kate as amazing this whole year, saying he hopes she's cheering him on from home. William said he is working on the basics of environmentalism with his children, saying, "You know, every family tries to do what they can to sort of help with the environment. We go through all the basics of recycling and making sure we minimize water use and turning off lights when we leave the house and stuff like that, and making sure which is sensible in what we do around the environment. And I think every family has these conversations. You just try to do what you can." William was excited about the Earthshot Prize, saying, "We are trying to do big-scale ambition and big-scale business to tackle some of the solutions. But I brought the children along that journey, and tonight I hope they are watching and they are proud of kind of what we are trying to do here, which is really to galvanize that energy, that enthusiasm to make a real impact." William also announced a groundbreaking initiative to support African wildlife rangers, launching a new life insurance cover as part of the 5-year Ranger Welfare and Standards Initiative. The program aims to provide life insurance to 10,000 rangers across Africa, recognizing their vital role in safeguarding some of the planet's most endangered species. Describing them as the guardians of our planet's most precious resources, William emphasized that rangers don't just protect wildlife, but also serve as educators and community pillars, playing a crucial part in sustainable resource management. Folks are admiring William's tie, his sustainable fashion choice, a shirt by Spanish eco-friendly brand Eco Alf, garnered praise on X, where one fan dubbed him Will Yum, and others applauded his excellent tie game. More palace in just a moment. Queen Camilla is anticipated to make a series of public appearances next week, health permitting, starting with the glamorous global premiere of Gladiator 2 in London. She and King Charles are scheduled to meet the film's stars, including Paul Mescal, Denzel Washington, Connie Nielsen, and Pedro Pascal, as well as director Sir Ridley Scott, at the Royal Film Performance at Leicester Square. After meeting the cast and crew, the royal couple will attend the screening of the eagerly awaited sequel. Earlier that day, Camilla and Charles will host a special reception at Buckingham Palace in honour of the UK's television and film industry, recognising the contributions of those involved in this sector. Additionally, the Queen is expected to join members of the royal family at the Festival of Remembrance at Royal Albert Hall on Saturday, an annual event that honours those who lost their lives in conflicts and celebrates the service of the armed forces. On Sunday, the King will lead the Remembrance Sunday service at the Cenotaph in London, where Queen Camilla and other senior royals, including the Prince and Princess of Wales, are normally expected to be in attendance. Though no further specifics about Camilla's chest infection have been shared, she will continue to rest under doctors' supervision, with the hopes of being well enough to fulfill these upcoming engagements. A 77-year-old slice of Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip's wedding cake just fetched £2,200 at auction, even though it's admittedly not in edible condition. This very rare piece of royal history was discovered tucked away in a suitcase under a bed, essentially time-travelling in a Scottish family's storage since the 1940s. The fruitcake, originally part of a towering 9-foot confection, was given to housekeeper Marion Polson, who served at the Palace of Holyrood House for nearly 4 decades. Along with a thank you letter from the Queen herself, it sat in its original presentation box, untouched since 1947. The letter from Princess Elizabeth, then newly married, gushed over a dessert service Miss Polson had gifted them, noting the different flowers and the beautiful colouring will, I know, be greatly admired by all who see it. Auctioneer James Grinter from Riemann Danzy described the cake as a magnificent relic from a time of strict rationing, marvelling at the size and grandeur of the original 4-tier spectacle. And though the cake is thoroughly past its prime, Grinter warned that taste testing might not be advisable. As someone who has eaten fruitcake, I'm pretty sure it's still just fine. And there you have it. If you'd like to email us, our address is thepalaceintrigue@gmail.com. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple, or the app of your choice, and leave us a review or some stars if you're enjoying the show. And don't forget, we have subscriptions available to get this show commercial-free, along with hundreds of others from Calaroga Shark Media, like 5 Good News Stories. It's just feel-good news and for a feel-good time. Check it out, 5 Good News Stories, wherever you get your podcasts, just like this one. I'm Mark Francis. My thanks to John McDermott. This is Palace Intrigue. Good times.